This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian Sebastian. Movie reviews and more live as usual. It's Tuesday, and I've been looking forward to this show for a while. Not only is it, I'm happy to be here. I'm in North Carolina, Charlotte. So the thing about this show is, hey, we're live on Talk for Media, TV, radio, and podcasting, K4HD, radio, streaming on over 100 platforms around the world. And with everything going on, I'm just happy to have everybody here. So from Houston, Texas, Chef Rachel Roberts Recipes, Nashville, Tennessee, Howard Wiggins, Redondo Beach, California, Terry Marie, Nonstop. And as I like to do, I like to have everybody else introduce themselves. So we got to start with ladies first. I saw her at this event. She stood out. I thought she was fabulous. Not only is she a voiceover actress, TV show host, I think she's fashion. And I love her parakeet too. Yes, I know about the parakeet. Melissa, tell us who you are. Where are you coming from?
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Papel. So I'm originally from Paris, France, and I'm half Turkish as well. And I've been based in the US for the past 9 years now, and I'm loving every minute of it, by the way. And I've lived kind of all over the world, in Paris and then in Istanbul, Turkey, and in Canada, in Australia, and Macedonia. And then I quit my entire career here for the Hollywood dream, you know. So I'm an actress, TV show host, voiceover artist, and I wear many hats. I also coordinate movies and documentaries and things like that. And I do have a parakeet, indeed, behind me, whose name is Kiwi, and he also speaks like 5 languages. So I'm very proud of him.
Wow.
All right. Before you get started, Rachel, hold on. So, Chef Ryan, talk about where you're coming from and when you become that private chef to the stars. Everything I do is off the top of my head. So Will Smith, Common, Tyrese, Robert Smith, Lamborghini, I want to say Mercedes-Benz. I hope I got that right. And when you can do all these things and you have that French, that Louisiana cuisine, and we briefly talked about your specialties, because I was telling Rachel about it, where do you go from there?
So you're absolutely correct on those things. You can add Kevin Durant, you can add Xhibit to that list. I am from New Orleans, born and raised. I've cooked under Chef Ryan Rondeno. I've cooked under Jamie Shannon during that time. So have a well-rounded, well-versed in Creole cuisine, which I'm able to bring to California, kind of mix and bring some Creole Cali flavors to the forefront.
All right, so Sensei Chuck, the good thing about this is I love this documentary. I'm all about, it's called Movie Reviews and More for a reason, and we cover everything around the world. So one of those things about Thirst Trap, this is important because my mom lives in Atlanta. Well, she lives in Griffin, but my sister lives in Atlanta. When you got these things going on water boys, selling waters out there, that's a real thing. That's heritage. That's real street. Talk about this, because I think your film is an award winner.
No, I appreciate it, man. Nah, it's been around for years, like you said, the water boy culture. You know, during the pandemic was when it got really crazy because kids at home, parents not working and things like that. So more social media, being able to see it from more of a wilder standpoint, if that makes sense. But, you know, just like I know it's been going on down here forever. These kids been getting some money and a lot of money at that.
For people who haven't seen this, usually I spread the movies around to everybody so they can get a chance to see it. Talk about what this is, because it's important.
All right, yeah. So, Thirst Trap is a documentary. It's telling the story of 4 young individuals who was affected by the waterboy culture in Atlanta. It's some success stories. It's some very heartbreaking stories and everything. And what I really want people to get from it is when you have a raw entrepreneurial talent and skill within you, it's better to cultivate it in a healthy way instead of making a mockery out of it and just trying to showcase it like it's some type of zoo exhibit, which is what a lot of people are doing. They looking at a lot of these kids and looking at them as nuisances or problems, but they just really need some guidance. They have a good idea. They just need some structure, someone to point them in the right direction.
So, Melissa, you just got off working on something that I think is going to be nominated next year. I'm going to see that, I think, this week. Talk about this. This is very special, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm incredibly honored to have worked on the documentary that's currently on Apple TV called Sydney, about Sidney Poitier. And for this documentary, we interviewed legends, Denzel Washington, Oprah. We went to her house to shoot, Halle Berry, to name a few. And the documentary is just spectacular. It really shows who Sidney was, what kind of person he was, and what he brought to the American culture in general. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely highly recommend it for sure.
Chef Ryan, talk about this, because I know Rachel's just dying to jump in. Give her and Terry, who's all about fitness, and Howard is about style. Talk about what it's like to cook for people who need to watch their weight, fitness, eating healthy, and as Rachel would say, eat healthy, drink a little dirty. Talk about that.
I mean, it's always an easy way to navigate when you're trying to eat healthy and stay in shape as well. One of the main things that we try to really preach is eating clean, eating sustainable, really getting those nutrients and vitamins in you to where, the food's working for you and you're not working for it. So when I'm cooking for clients, I'm always pushing the limit of, farmers market shopping, fresh, local, sustainable, and, really driving fresh and local that I use.
So I have a question, being a fitness competitor. I don't know if you've dealt with anybody like me, but for me, like I can't eat gluten and I can't eat cheese. So those are completely cut out of my diet. You rarely even eat it. What's weird is I don't even miss it anymore. But as far as oils, can you kind of address that? Because that's something too, like fitness people have to have certain oils. Like we can't have vegetable oil. Like I have to cook everything in coconut oil or ghee. But like really, I'm kind of limited on my oils.
Well, if you're not using coconut oil or avocado or olive oil, avocado oil works just as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I use avocado oil too. Yeah. So, but no butter really. So it makes it a little bit more challenging. So do you work with a lot of clients that have like those kind of dietary restrictions, like that are maybe eating athletes that are doing something similar to what I'm doing?
Well, I think nowadays you're going to get that across the board. Whether you're working for a client or whether you're in the restaurant and somebody's coming to eat, they have some certain dietary restrictions. So you're always balancing yourself to really appease that client. To where, no dairy or no cheese or no gluten, those things are easy to accommodate. Gluten-free flours, they've come a long way. So food tastes just as normal, just as you eat regular dessert or snack.
Sensei Chop, talk about this. Hey, we're talking about food, we're talking about fitness, fashion, and everything else like that. How did you become a filmmaker and that writing, directing? And the reason why I'm asking, you have something that's really good, and I want everybody to see this. I'd love to have Chef Ryan to see this. I'd love to have Melissa to see this. Why is this film important? Going back to that, and obviously, being in Atlanta, it's always about good food too, right?
Right. Well, I got into filmmaking. I originally was doing music originally, and it got to a point where I just really got tired of asking people to film me or take my pictures. Everybody was just acting like they were too Hollywood or too busy. So I started looking at some YouTube tutorials, got my own camera, and just figured it out. So I'm really just taking my passion for music, storytelling, and I translated it to the camera. And that's how I got into filmmaking. And I've been doing a lot of film for brands and businesses down here. But I remember back in 2017, because like we said, the water boy culture been going on for years. Back in 2017, one of the water boys who I used to just always give money to just to give them some money was killed, probably like an hour after I seen him. And, you know, I kind of felt that because I see the guy every day. And then early 2020, another one who's the son of someone I'm familiar with, he got killed over $10. That's what really got me into wanting to start doing documentaries and telling the stories that I'm seeing here in the city, because there's a lot that goes on in the city from a deeper level than what most people realize. A lot of people, when they think about Atlanta or see Atlanta, is more so from what they see with Hollywood, like Love and Hip Hop or something with rappers, things of that nature. And it's deeper than that. We do have a culture down here. We do have a lot of voices and a lot of stories down here that need to be told, and I want to tell them.
Well, listen, talk about this. It's always about the voiceovers. People don't realize how important voiceovers are. But talk about being half Turkish and half French. Talk about how you got into the business and being in television and getting into voiceovers, which I love.
Right. So there's so many different facets to voiceover, because I do a lot of commercials, for instance, and I work for brands like Google, Apple, Mercedes, Fuji, LG, you name it. But then there's like audiobooks, which are a completely different thing, because then not only do you have to read the narrator part, but you also have to read for all the characters and modify your voice accordingly. And, you know, when there's two women talking, it's one thing, but when I have to do a male voice and then do two different male voices talking together, that's also very much more complicated. And then there's movie dubbing, which, for instance, I dubbed some Oscar-nominated movies into French. And I dubbed that one, for example, called If Beale Street Could Talk, which was a huge movie, and I had to do the rape scene. So in the rape scene, you literally have to reproduce every breath, every cry, every intention of that woman being raped, you know? So some people say it's not acting, but trust me, it is. Like, not everybody can do that, I guess, you know? So, but it's been so fulfilling, and I love it so much. And it's, you know, I started kind of with COVID, and now I became like a big name in the French voiceover industry.
It was called voice acting for a reason. You know,
Exactly.
voiceovers is different from being on the radio in those days. I literally, coming from Connecticut, I had to learn how to speak correctly.
Right.
Sandwich. You know, I would say there was something else I would say wrong, but I didn't know until I got to California and they corrected me. It was very interesting.
Yeah, but now they're really asking to avoid that whole like very announcery thing, and they want, you know, people to talk in a very organic way, and, you know, we don't do the commercials like, oh, and today, like, we don't really do that anymore. They want like really natural sounding voices and stuff, which is great.
Sensei, talk about this. You did the narration, that's considered voiceover. What was that like for you doing that? Because you got to capture the people when it comes to this film. And I know what it's like to pick those films for film festivals. It's not easy. Not every good film gets seen, and that bothers me. And then, Melissa, we're going to go back to you and Chef Ryan after that. Based on, you were just at the French Film Festival, which has got a new name now. Go ahead, Sensei.
All right. Well, at first, I really wasn't even going to do any narration for it. But I feel like it put everything together. It pieced it together properly. As far as me getting into the narration, it was kind of an easy pivot for me because I do podcasting, and like I said, I originally did do music. So to do that, to be able to tell that story in a way that the footage that I took and the B-roll and the interviews that I got flowed together properly, I didn't realize how much of a skill it is to actually be a narrator and to actually write the narration until you do it. It's actually a skill. It's not just, let me just get on here and do my Morgan Freeman and say some words. It's deeper than that. So I definitely got a bigger appreciation from narration, voiceover as a whole when I started doing this film.
Let's talk about this. Talk about going to it used to be called Cola. Now it's called, I think, the American French, whatever they changed. I would have normally been there, but I wasn't. Talk about being there, but also talk about what you wore. And DJ, I think we got some things of her she's going to talk about.
So it used to be called Colcoa, which meant City of Lights, City of Angels. And apparently it wasn't too clear enough for people. So now they changed it to the American French Film Festival. And so it's every year at the DGA, the Directors Guild of America. And it's a fantastic event because we have all these like celebrities coming from France and all these filmmakers, and we get to see the films that are otherwise not very easy to watch from here, from America. And not only that, but there's so many French people in LA, and the French community is like a big family. We're all like super tight. We all know each other. We can count on one another. And it's always good to catch up with all these people during all the cocktails. And, every year there's a party at the producer of Grease's house, Randall in the Hills. And, it's an amazing event. And it just ended yesterday or Sunday. And we got to see some amazing films. The guy who made The Artist, who won an Oscar for that film, he was there with his new movie, which is called Final Cut. And it was incredible. If you're in the film industry, try to watch it as well. But yeah, it was a blast. And maybe next year you can all go.
Chef Ryan, talk about this. We were at an event for Chef Ryan for olives and olive oil, deep roots, if I remember correctly. And it was a fun event to be at. And it was really, really cool. This is where Melissa was at, where I met her, but you were there too. And I got this photo of you and Melissa, not together, but being at the same event. Show that. But Chef Ryan, talk about being there. Why was that important for you to be there?
Well, I didn't hear your last question.
Oh, talk about why was that important for you to also be there too?
It's always important to support other chefs in the industry. That's number one. We're one big family, one big unit. It's also important, really see the production of what it took to produce olive oil, their take on olives and olive oil, and what she and the master, I guess you can call it master sommelier of olive oil, what they were bringing to the table of different flavors, even with the food they were bringing that night, which is really something unique to really try. So it was something that I really enjoyed, that I took it with myself to really learn different olives to taste, the aspect of it, the flavors, the brininess of it. And you looking throughout the whole realm of it, it was at the Constance House. That was another unique aspect of it as well. How people as a country can come together and help support a chef to really push something that's unique and positive.
Yeah, and if I may add, like olive oil in the Mediterranean food is so important. It's considered like gold kind of, and it's really a big part of every dish. And, as a Turkish person or half French, half Turkish, whatever, for me, it's kind of hard to find like good products in America. I'm not saying that there's not good products, but, it's hard to really understand what's actually organic. Even when it says organic, it's not necessarily organic. Like it's harder than in France to shop for good products. And when you find them, they turn out to be so expensive, So it's struggle for me to feed myself well while here, but it's good to discover new products like that. And I brought the olive oil at home, and now I'm using it all the time. It's delicious.
Well, I think it's the ability to outsource too. I mean, not just looking within
Right.
your own region, but look around America as a whole, and you'll find really unique products.
True. Yeah.
I want to ask you something, Chef Ryan. I do a lot of cooking around the house, and I mainly use avocado oil. So I was told with olive oil, you don't really supposed to use it for high heat too much. Like, is that correct?
That is correct. You know,
Yeah.
it does reach a certain temperature for smoke point. Look at things like peanut oil, corn oil; those have higher smoke points, but they're not commonly used to saute, mostly for frying, things of that nature. So I think really controlling the heat aspect on your stove to really control your cooking and your temperature, so you're not uh, really burning and smoking out your olive oil.
Back to that, just what my trainer had me on for competing was to cook everything in coconut oil because it doesn't break down and it's a little bit, it's a healthy oil to cook with. Again, I'm using organic coconut oil. Do you use a lot of that in your dishes, or is it also? Or
I'll say here and there, it all depends on what I'm cooking. I mean, granted, it is a healthier, is a very healthy oil to use. But for me, I'm not really looking for a coconut flavor in everything that I use. So I'm really trying to balance all healthy oils to use for cooking.
Terry, since you're there, tell them what you do.
Oh, okay. I had to unmute myself. I have been in the fitness world since 2014. I've won several fitness shows, Muscle Beach. Let me see. And I'm sorry, I can't speak today. NBC, I placed first and second place a couple of shows. I was Miss Fitness LA in 2016. Haven't competed in a while, but I'll be going back to that. I've been with Brian for over 7 years doing red carpet interviews. So that's my forte. I love to be on the red carpet and get up, glammed out and interview celebrities. And then also I am creating a series of NFTs right now called Nonstop Conspiracy Farm, which are based on different characters and different conspiracies. And what else do I do? I do a little acting. I'll be in a rock video that's coming out here pretty shortly, which is Never Fear by Wicked Star, which I am featured in that. And I'm also just did a layout in Trixie's our friend Trixie Custom Trends out of Texas for her Halloween issue. I did a little bit of modeling that came out yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure. I don't know if we've got that ad, but that's me, and I'm here in California.
All right, Howard from Nashville, Tennessee. All right, Howard, we got to talk about that room where you are, what you're wearing, because Howard is stylish. Not only is he an actor, when he takes his hat off, he looks like Sean Connery. He really does. But Howard is an iconic background. All right, go for it, Howard.
Well, since I'm from Nashville, I've been dressing like a cowboy when it comes to fall. So I told Rachel, "Cowboys back." I also take care of mentally challenged adults and teenagers. So I dress like this even going to work because they like it and they get entertained by it. But my father was on the Grand Ole Opry. He played steel guitar with Eddie Arnold and Pee Wee King. And Colonel Parker was his manager before Elvis. And then I know everybody in the music business from the very beginning because my dad started the Grand Ole Opry with Eddie Arnold, Minnie Pearl, and he used to play backup behind Patsy Cline before she died, and that was with Pee Wee King. And if Eddie Arnold hadn't got my dad away from Pee Wee King and hired him, he would probably died in that plane crash with Patsy Cline and Cowboy Copas. And then my stepfather, which I don't talk about too much, he actually raised Brenda Lee because she lost her parents in a fire. And he was the godfather, and from teenager on, he took care of Brenda Lee. So it just goes across the board.
All right, Rachel, you're up next. Rachel Roberts Recipes.
Hello, Rachel Roberts in Houston, Texas. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I have on my one of my Halloween costumes. I'm Little Red Riding Hood today. If y'all were wondering what in the world is she's wearing, that's what's going on. Anyway, I've been a co-host with Brian for about a year almost, and I really enjoy working with Terry and Howard and Brian and Rob and Natasha and all these good people. But besides that, I'm in Texas. I'm a little chef in Texas. I shoot videos. I do all sorts of fun things. I'm going to be working on a show soon with some cool people here in Texas. I was in a magazine recently, The Envoy. But every week I like to make something fun. So this week we actually went out a couple nights ago to a guy here in Houston. His name's Lorenzo. He owns a bunch of really cool restaurants in Houston. Like maybe some of you have heard of the Ninfas, the El Tiempos. Well, anyway, this is his family. And so he had given me like a whole bunch of stuff to take home. So I like to, like Brian said, eat clean, drink a little dirty. So I made I took some low carb tortillas, and then everything else is keto. It's the beef and the chicken, and there's this, oh my God, this sauce that we call it crack. I don't know. It's like butter and sherry and garlic. It's awesome. And I made some homemade pico de gallo with stuff from my garden, because I that's where I get inspiration from. I like to go out, pick stuff that's fresh and then cook with it, and then drink a little dirty. So I've got my tangerine margarita with a little tahini. In Texas, we put tahini things.
All right, that's awesome.
Last but not least, my friend Rob Wilson, who I went to high school with, that I've known for 40-something years. All right, so Rob, it's good to see you. So Rob, tell everybody, because you didn't get a chance to meet Melissa, Chef Ryan, and Sensei Chop, who you are in Nyan, Connecticut.
Hey, guys, good to see you all. Sensei.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. Chef Ryan, you're in your car apparently. Hopefully
Yes.
you're not driving. Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah. Hey, greetings from the East Coast. Howard, I brought this hat down to put it on so I wouldn't get outdone tonight, but
St. Patrick's Day.
I think you got me
in the
again.
wrong season.
I love that red cowboy hat. Rachel, the lips, you win the contest tonight. Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, everything's good here. A little frost on the pumpkin, and unfortunately, it's getting a little chilly here. But we're gonna be fine, Brian. Are you in Carolina?
I'm still in North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you're getting it too. All right. That's fine.
Yeah. Chef Ryan, talk about this. What's one specialty that you would recommend that people could possibly make? Not like you, but possibly make. What would you recommend?
Possibly make one specialty? That's a tough one, but easy one at the same time. You gotta love Creole food. So that's one of the top cuisines across the world. So
Trying to say, gotta spice it up and rub it down, right?
you gotta spice it up and rub it down at all times. There are various dishes that are easy to make. I mean, if you're into seafood, a lot of shrimp, like crab meat, like crab cakes. Crab cakes are always easy to make, so you can't go wrong with that. Shrimp is quick. Nowadays everybody wants to be in the kitchen, in and out, so fast. So shrimp is one of my favorites. I love to do that with cook that with beer, let that cook down, some herbs, some Creole spices, finish that with a little butter. I know you're healthy, but we're gonna take a little butter today, won't hurt.
This
And
is Creole, baby. We gotta put
it's Creole.
some butter.
You gotta have some butter and some grilled sourdough just to sop the all your juicy things you up with. So that's one really easy dish. You can find that dish on my my food app, my food culture app, which is across Apple and Android. So very easy, 10-minute dish, executed by anyone, whether you're on the beginning level or whether it's intermediate. So it's very simple.
Sensei is looking at you and saying, "What's your website? Give your website, go."
Hey, I was just looking over there in the private chat real quick. Like, hold on, what is it?
It's a private chat. RondenoCulinaryDesigns.com. That's my website. Since I used to live in Atlanta, I worked at Buckhead at Emerald's when it was there.
Okay.
So it's all home.
Oh yeah, nah, that Emerald's people was busting for real.
Yeah.
we be at breakfast at Barney's now. That's one of our spots that we go to.
Yeah. I hear a lot about that. I always try to go to Barcelona when I'm down there. You know, so good tapas bar.
And Melissa, talk about this. Not only are you, and I've heard your voiceover, I didn't realize it was you. I've been hearing it for a while now. You're also very fashionable. Talk about your style. Why is that important? Is that also a thing? Or you just like to go out in style like Terry does?
I'm French. I mean, that explains it, right? I was born and raised in Paris. No, I'm kidding. I love clothes. I love fashion. I'm always overdressed, especially for LA, because, you know, here people don't really care most of the time. I mean, women do, men not so much, but I just love it. You know, I never wear the same thing twice. And I have lots of events and stuff, and I love to be different characters, and maybe that's also because I'm an actress. So, you know, whatever I wear, I feel like I'm a different person every time.
Talk about what you have coming out. What are you working on now that you can talk about?
Yeah, so I actually wrote a TV series about 5 years ago, and I developed it a lot. I have the pilot and the Bible and everything. And it's a sci-fi show. It's kind of like Black Mirror meets Squid Game. And right now it's being read by Netflix and HBO Max South Africa. So if it does happen, I mean, you know, I don't mind at all that it's in South Africa because they do speak English, and it could still become a very international show. And people now are willing to read subtitles anyway. So I feel like, you know, diversity and different languages are not an issue anymore. And they're even encouraged. So I'm crossing my fingers, because if that happens, I mean, it would change my life, really.
Your life has been changed.
Right.
Hey, Howard, talk about this. Talk about the style that you have. No matter, and I don't even know what room you're in. I'm sure Rob wants to know too. What room are you in?
Well, the movies, did you say, or the style?
Style, and then go to your movies.
Style. Okay, well, styles, I like to be different characters anyway, just like she says. It gives you different, I guess it's the acting in me also. I want to be somebody else all day. I may dress up in the tuxedo. I may dress up cowboy. I may dress up casual every now and then, but not that much. And I like polo a lot. So it depends on the season and just being comfortable. But I've always been known for my style, even when I was a child, because one Christmas, my mother gave me 250 pairs of colored socks back in the 1960s. And I had 250 shirts to go with all those colors. And I've maintained that all my life. So it's just, I think that's the reason I became a designer, because the same principles it takes to dress is the same principles that you put a room together. So I look at it that way. It's a way of a creative outlet for me to do. And I don't understand people who don't enjoy beauty, because there's beauty everywhere you go. You just got to look for it. So.
Well, did you see the listeners went to go get?
I had to get my Stetson. You know, I saw you and I was like, okay, I have to be in this theme.
You got to put the natural in that hat.
Thanks for getting on board. Yeah, it's awesome.
Rachel Roberts, what question do you have either for Melissa or Chef Ryan, Sensei Chop? Because this is interesting. She's been pretty quiet. She's never quiet.
Okay. Well, yeah, Chef Ryan, where can I, when I'm going to New Orleans, are you in New Orleans?
No, I'm in LA right now. I'm in LA.
Oh, you're in LA. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I come out to LA and Brian invites me to events, is there a restaurant that we can go at and eat at, or do we hire you like to how does that work? If we want to eat some of your good food.
No. You can hire me to come cook for you guys.
That'd be great.
And now I gotta chefs and everything. Okay, I gotta add that to everything else we're doing, right?
Hey, exactly right.
We'll do it. I mean, we got some great. We got a really good year. We had some. I might as well. Okay, I'll do that. All right, I'll set it up for next year.
Chef,
Sensei,
was
Sean.
most of your cooking, was it done for parties or individual for all the stars that you did?
It's been done for a little bit of both. Lots of parties. Then I've also done some chef work for individuals. The Will Smiths, the Commons, Exhibits, the Kevin Durant's. So a lot of things on an individual basis, but things like the ESPYs, the Emmys, Philharmonic, we just cooked for them the other night. So those are more on the party basis.
Or are you doing for the actors to get them in shape or out of shape to do a character in a movie?
Not necessarily. It's just an event they're having, whether it's just a company event or they're trying to promote something. So not necessarily they're trying to get in shape for anything.
Okay, thank you.
Sensei, talk about this. What would you say to those feature filmmakers coming up to create something? Because again, you just picked up that camera, started doing it, but that's not easy, is it? It's not easy, is it, Melissa?
No, it's not.
Nah, it's not easy. I would say you just gotta try some stuff sometimes. Like I said, I don't have any kind of formal training. All I know is what looked good and what sounded good. That's all I knew. So I would say if you got an idea, just try. You never know what it is that you need or what you need to work on unless you try it. There's too many people who probably they spend too much time trying to make something perfect and try to perfect it. And you'll figure it out. You just gotta do it. Just gotta go for it.
When you come up,
And where
who
can
were
we
some of
see
your
this show,
influences, who
Sensei?
you like on the filmmaker world or on the music side of things? Who did you like? Who did you run to?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
Oh, I said when you were coming up, anybody influence you when it came to filmmaking or on the music side?
Oh, well, filmmaking. My favorite director is Martin Scorsese, for sure. I like how he tells stories. It's just something about it. It's just the right amount of magic that he got.
Melissa, talk about this. You do a lot of things, and we have to these days. No one really does one thing.
Right.
Talk about how you became that consultant, because you can't just walk into Oprah's house. It's a beautiful place. You definitely can't walk into Quincy Jones's house. This is a beautiful, even more spectacular Keys place.
No, it's just, I had a really good career in Turkey, in Istanbul, before moving here. I was in many movies. I was doing TV series. I was a TV show host on national TV, and I had a weekly show and everything. And I could have kept going like that, And then at some point I was like, I want more. I want Hollywood, So I called the network and I was like, guys, you know what? I'm sorry. I quit and I'm moving to LA. And they were like, what? Why would you do that? You have you're making a lot of money. You have fans, you have everything. Why would you want to do that? And I was like, well, sometimes in life you got to take risks. And what I actually appreciate here is that it truly is the land of opportunities. Everybody has a chance, Sensei was saying, maybe not everybody's talented, but if you do have the talent, you can succeed here. Whereas in France, for example, it's really kind of who you know. Are you the daughter of someone? Are you the son of someone? So, it's really based on that kind of stuff. And here it's not. So I'm really happy that I made this decision. And then also I realized quite quickly that I couldn't just be an actress here and that I had to wear many hats, no pun intended. You have to hustle for real. And it took me about 10 years of being here to become the the person that I am today, but I'm so grateful. You know, I have so many different projects going on. I meet different people on a regular basis. I have events like every single day. Now I have a movie coming out soon called Chapel that I acted in, and we shot it at the Kill Bill Church. You know, like every day is a new day. And that's what I love about my life, is that every morning I wake up and I'm like, what's going to happen today? You know, there's not a single day that's predictable or that's the same as the previous day. You know, every day is a new adventure, and I'm so grateful, really.
So when I talk about this, we're doing a lot of things with a lot of, whether they're authors, whether they're, you know, cooks or in fitness, fashion, whatever. What would you say someone who's getting in, who wants to create stuff, who wants to cook stuff, but just doesn't know how to get that break? What's your advice to them, no matter where they live around the world?
You know, I would say that were you asking me?
Melissa, you go first, and then Chef Ryan after that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure. No, I was just going to say that it's very important to surround yourself with people that you love and trust and that are also talented. You know, that's how a lot of people out there like Spielberg, Tarantino and all that, they were kind of a group of people hanging out together, influencing each other, giving each other feedback and notes and stuff like that. So I think it's important to be surrounded by creative people who understand you and who also have like a nice sense of aesthetics in general and who can guide you in life and take their advice, you know, or work with them or collaborate. I think collaborations are super important in life in general.
Chef Ryan?
Yes, to piggyback, collaborations are very, very important, especially in the city. You know, everyone is always doing something, getting your hands into something. Even on a chef level, you know, let's partner here, let's do a pop-up together, you know, so you're kind of learning from different chefs all around, whether it's in your city or in other cities as well. But at the same time, it's, you know, hunkering down and doing the research and really practicing these dishes that you want to become great at, become more creative at, just like the arts. It takes work, it takes practice. You know, cooking is no different. So you really have to really push the level and push the buttons to become better as a chef.
Talk about this. There's a lot of people, cooking shows have always been fabulous. I remember, what was it, something Chef, when it first came out on NBC, I remember being there for Bravo. We knew it was going to be great. We didn't know it was going to be that fabulous. And then stuff that Rachel makes, when I was at her house, she loves to cook. She doesn't care if she cooks 3 times a day or whatever. Her stuff is fabulous. What advice would you give her? Because she's got a lot of people going after her wanting to start a show. What would you say to her?
Can you repeat that last part?
What advice would you give to Chef Rachel Roberts on all these people coming to her around the world wanting to, we want to put your show with us kind of thing? What would you say to her?
I would say be who you are. You know, don't change for anyone. You know, if they want to bring you on, you know, show them why they should bring you on and really elevate your cuisine for them, just to really become well-rounded and reach many people. So never change. Do what got you there.
I don't know. I'm a little weird. Have you ever seen me do coffee talk in the mornings? You got to watch my morning.
Don't be hard on yourself.
Hey, that works for TV. So.
Yeah. Rachel, I'm going to tell you something. We're all weird in our own ways, and that makes you unique.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Sensei, talk
You're
about
weird.
this.
That's right.
Everybody. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say that you should embrace your weirdness and embrace your quirks, because that's what makes you unique and it makes you you. And so many people, like, I used to not like some of my quirks, or not like, you know, some things about me or how I looked, or like didn't like my nose, and people need to embrace that, because then everybody looks the same. You know what I mean? And I think that's a mistake that I'm seeing a lot of women do right now, is that they all want to look the same. I don't know. And I don't really understand it. You know what I mean? Like, be unique and be you. And I just wish more people could see the beauty in their flaws. And I'll leave it at that.
I think it's the inner beauty that counts, that radiates to the outer beauty. Inner beauty shows through the outer beauty.
Not just that, just your personality. Your personality quirks. You know, like Rachel, you may have like Rachel's laugh. You know, it's unique to her. Or like, I don't know. I mean, I have certain things that I do or whatever that people think is funny that I think is annoying, or maybe it's annoying to some people. But like, you just have to embrace, whether it be a mannerism, or a look, or attitude, or whatever. Just be unique.
That's true. I mean, I think some people's quirkiness has gotten them to places they've never imagined. So, you know, continue to be yourself.
And if I may add, I'm sorry.
Love it.
Go ahead, Rachel. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like it, love it. You guys are awesome.
Well, this is also where Wilson comes in. Rob was a first fireman, he's still a volunteer fireman, but also a former police officer. But Rob is just funny. He makes me laugh. And look at that. Look at the St. Patrick hat. You can see some of the stuff that he does. It's just hilarious. But it's one of those things, everybody has a great talent. I can't wait to go back to Nashville in December to see what Howard's. I can't wait to see Howard. And a lot of it was Howard connecting with Rachel. Sensei, I can't talk enough about your film because it's spectacular. I'm gonna submit it to the Beloit International Film Festival in Wisconsin, because this film that you made needs to be seen more. I know it's on Amazon Prime, if I'm correct, right? And Tubi, right?
Yeah, correct. It's on Amazon Prime and Tubi right now.
Here's the thing: it's not easy to get films on there. Oh. I know, because I pick a lot of these films around the world for my friends' film festivals, and there's a lot of films that are just left out that we debate over, we fight over. But your film is really, really good. And I can't talk too much about that. It's just really good. We got about.
What's crazy to me? I'm sorry, but what's crazy to me is I hear that, but it's my first film, so I thought like you come out with a film, you get on Tubi, you get on Amazon. I didn't know.
No, that's not how it works.
Damn, that's nice.
All right, we got about a couple minutes left. All right, Sensei. Tell people how they can check out your film. What are you working on next, and your social media links?
You can check out the film on Tubi, Amazon Prime. My social media links, everything is at Sensei Chop. And I got a couple of docuseries and a documentary that I'm working on right now. I really can't get into the subject matter. I'll be announcing it in the next couple of weeks. We're in the pre-production process of it right now, but I got a lot of things coming, like definitely for sure.
When it's time, I want first crack to see it. I always want to see these films. I don't care where they come around the world. I'm a movie whore.
All right, I got you.
Howard,
we got to talk about Halloween movies, Brian. Since Halloween's coming up.
Give you a Halloween movie. Go ahead, real quick.
No, I am in this kick of watching old 70s horror movies. I watched Burnt Offering last night, and I forgot how freaking scary that movie was. I don't know if anybody else here on the panel likes like old 70s horror movies, but Karen Black is like my favorite. And she also did, I was gonna watch tonight Trilogy of Horrors just because it's Halloween. And I don't know, like if anybody else is into those kooky old movies, but that's my thing right now.
Yeah, that little troll runs around. That was funny.
That's Trilogy of Horror, and that's where I think the original Chucky doll probably came from, because she finds that troll doll who ends up possessing her or whatever. Yeah, Karen Black was like, as a kid, I liked to watch all her movies and stuff. So I'm going to try to see.
Terry, take that Celtic cross off the cabinet and hold that right in front of you while you're watching the movie. I think it'll help out.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna look at what's H.P. Lovecraft has a ton of like really like freaky like kind of movies that I don't know. I'm just into watching these older horror flicks right now.
Well, Terry, don't turn around and look. Somebody's moving behind you. But while you give your social media links, go for it.
Oh, my social media links. Terry Marie Nonstop on all platforms. And then TerryMarieOfficial.com is my website. I am going to be going to an event on Thursday, Brian, with Raquel, who's a publicist that we work with. It is going to be a clothing store in Orange County called Naughty Girl. So they do all kinds of different clothing. So lingerie, some really cute clothes. It's going to be an Alice in Wonderland theme. So I'm going to be Queen of Hearts. So I'll have some pictures from this, this party. There'll probably be some celebrities there. It'll be fun.
Howard Wiggins, give your social media link, how people can reach out to you and hire you.
Howard Wiggins Facebook. My number's on my Facebook. You can give me a call, leave a voicemail, or text me, private text me if you like. I'm going to an event tomorrow at the Gordon's Junior Community Center. I'll be dancing there, so I'll be posting a dancing video like I usually do. In November, I'm doing something where I play an artist character for the Nashville Women in Film and TV here in Nashville. I'll be an artist in an event they're doing. Got to get a long curly wig, and they're going to dress me up in a costume, and we'll just see how that goes. So I get to be a different character then. So that's it.
Rachel Roberts Recipes, go for it.
Hey.
Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms at Rachel Roberts Recipes, and watch me in the mornings for Cook.
Chef Ryan, social media links and what you're working on next.
You can find me at NolaChef212 on Instagram. My website, RondenoCulinaryDesigns.com. And I'm in the process of working on my second cookbook, so that should be out in the spring.
Nice. Last but not least, because Rob Wilson, you can find with me.
Copy.
So I'm going to set something up, Rob. Melissa, go with it. Social media links and what you're working on next. And Sydney.
Sure. Oh, yeah. So Sydney, you can watch it on Apple TV, and my phone number is 31. No, I'm kidding. My Instagram is at Melissa. You can remember it from La Casa de Papel. It's the same way of spelling it. And same for Facebook, Melissa Papel. And lots of projects and events coming up. I can't even sum them up because my brain is dead right now. It's too many things.
And with that, I want to thank everybody because I really been waiting for the show. And Melissa, thank you for coming on when you came on. And Sensei, like I said, I want first dibs once your stuff is finished because I like what you're doing so far. Chef Ryan, I can't wait. I'm going to have to hire you, I guess, next year for stuff. Don't mind.
Hey, we'll figure it out.
I always say this. Have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. You see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours. The world needs it. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.